my fellow Americans. If you think you know politics, think again. I'm Michael Cohen, and every week on When You Know, we're pulling back the curtain on power, politics, media, and the people making headlines. On my new WABC radio show, you'll hear conversations from names that you know. People like Jerry Falwell Jr., Anthony Scaramucci, Alan Dershowitz, and many, many more. Maybe, just maybe, we'll even hear from the president. No scripts, no spin, just real conversations with people who were in the room where it happened. And trust me, we've got some very big surprises coming. Look, I've spent years at the center of politics, controversy, and power. I know the players, I know the stories, and now I'm bringing you inside. When You Know, Sundays at 5 p.m. on WABC Radio, and When You Know Unleashed, wherever you get your podcasts. Because with me, you never know who's going to show up.
Good morning, this is Mike Stoller for the Stoller Real Estate Report. It's called the Rockaways. It's a haven. People many years ago used to go to the Rockaways while they were living in Brooklyn. The Rockaways are in Queens, and now I have the individual who's responsible for significant development in Rockaway, Steven Dubb, the president of the Beechwood organization. Steven is involved these days in a newest project, which is called Lighthouse Beach 67, where they just started construction or moving the dirt.
Yeah, we're driving piles.
You're driving piles. So tell me about the Rockaway and tell me about Arvin by the Sea.
So Arvin by the Sea is a 120-acre master plan development in the Rockaways that we've been building with our joint venture partner, Benjamin Companies, for the last 20 years. The city sort of envisioned the project. We were selected as the master developer. The plan for the whole community, for the whole Arvin by the Sea community, is 2,300 homes, a YMCA, which is open, a charter school, which is opening this coming fall, about 120,000 square feet of retail space, most of which is open. That's like a Stop and Shop grocery store, a bank, a dry cleaner, surf shop, restaurants, shops, coffee shops. All of that is done. And a lot of pocket parks, and it's a transit-oriented development. It's served by the Beach 67th Street subway station. As I mentioned, we've been building through this development for the last 20 years. The final component of Arvin by the Sea are these oceanfront condominium towers, and Lighthouse is the first one.
Okay, and these developments are the price. They started $675,000.
Yes, yeah. They started from $675,000 up to $3.75 million for that's the 12th floor penthouse looking straight at the Atlantic Ocean. The Lighthouse is right on the beach. It's right on the corner of Beach 67th Street and Beachfront Road.
Is it a gated community?
Yes, yeah, it's gated. There's the Lighthouse itself is gated. Arvin by the Sea, the master plan community is not gated, but Lighthouse is, and it's served by a 24-hour doorman and concierge.
How many units do you have?
82. It's 82 units, and every single unit was designed to have ocean views. So we put a lot of thought into the layout and the design of the facade so that it's not just the front units of the building, which is often the case, that have ocean views, but every single home in the Lighthouse will have ocean views.
Your sales office is open right now?
Sales office is open. We opened a couple months ago for pre-sales, and we're 15%, over 15% pre-sold. That was before we started driving piles. So I'm hoping to pour pile caps next week, and by this fall, you'll start to see the concrete actually come out of the ground and hope to be topped off early next year.
What's the specifics about the typical buyer of this development?
It is all over the place, as it has been for most of the Arvin by the Sea development. We think of it as a melting pot for really.
Now, how far is Arvin by the Sea from the beginning to the end on each?
So Arvin ranges. You mean the
size of the?
It's 120 acres from, I think it's Beach 84th Street down to Beach 62nd Street. But Arvin, the Lighthouse, it's a 40-minute door-to-door drive from where I live in Lower Manhattan, or I used to live until last week in Lower Manhattan. And you can get there by ferry, by car, or by subway.
So who do you think is going to buy these units?
So far, it's been a real mix. We've had a lot of empty nesters who love the idea of like a turnkey, no maintenance home on the beach in the Rockaways, with all of the amenities that are designed for the building. The building's going to have a swimming pool on this elevated roof deck overlooking the beach and the ocean. It has a gym, it has a card room, a billiards room, playroom for kids or grandkids. I mean, it's like everything, a conference room, work from home rooms. So there has been nothing this sort of lifestyle oriented built in the Rockaways. And so it really fills a niche for people who want like lifestyle, turnkey, no maintenance living. So it's been a lot of empty nesters. It's also been young people who love living at the beach. We have young couples who are planning to move out of Brooklyn to the building and Lower Manhattan. So it kind of serves all age groups.
But you guys are very busy in general in Long Island. Let's talk a little bit about the projects you're working with in Long Island today and the zonings and everything.
Sure. So besides Lighthouse, we've built the Selby and the Vanderbilt, which are two of the I'd say most luxurious rental buildings on Long Island. They also have, each of them has hotel components. So we get a lot of transient hotel guests, and we also get who are coming in for business or coming in to visit family. We get snowbirds who come up for the summer. Both of those buildings have restaurants, amazing restaurants in them. We just opened a restaurant with Chef Jesse Shanker, who used to own a restaurant called Reset in the West Village. Now he owns a bunch of restaurants, bunch of the best restaurants on Long Island. And he opened the Comic Club at the Vanderbilt. And at the Selby, we've got a restaurant called The Shed, which is extremely popular, and right next door, the Farm Italy. So those are fantastic. We are building a similar building in Melville right now that we'll start moving people into in 2028. That's called the Ferncliff. So that will be a sort of extended stay hotel, short-term apartments, similar concept to the Vanderbilt and the Selby.
Let's talk about Mastic Beach and the other projects.
So in Mastic Beach, we were designated by the town of Brookhaven to basically build a village, a downtown for Mastic Beach. So it's going to be about 130,000 square feet of village-style retail, restaurants, card shop, lawyer, whatever coffee shop, ice cream shop, bait shop, and about 500 homes. There will be condos, rentals, and townhomes, and we're going to start construction next year.
What about the Mauritius?
So there's a community that was built in the 80s or 90s called the Waterways. It's well known on Long Island. There were sites left to be built on there. So Beechwood came in and is building 100 new homes in the Waterways in Center Mauritius. This community is right on the water. It has a marina. It's like people know Suffolk County and a lot of Nassau County people know the Waterways. So now you've got the opportunity to move into a new Beechwood home in like an amazing community in an amazing location.
Town of Huntington.
Town of Huntington. Well, that would be the Ferncliff project that I mentioned earlier, the 299 sort of short-term apartment extended stay hotels that are under construction now and will be ready in 2028.
Are you building anything in the New York City area besides
Lighthouse? We are building what I would call deeply affordable housing in partnership with New York City's HPD, Department of Housing Preservation Development, and Settlement Housing Fund, which is a nonprofit developer. We completed a 45-unit building in Weeksville, Brooklyn last year, and we have about 72 units under construction in 3 separate buildings in the Melrose area of the Bronx right now.
Okay, let's talk about the tax abatement on Lighthouse.
Okay, so Lighthouse, all the homes at Arvin by the Sea, including Lighthouse, get this incredible 20-year tax abatement. It's not well known in New York City. It's a tax abatement that HPD offers. It's called the UDAP tax abatement. Effectively, it's a 20-year tax abatement where condo owners or homeowners' real estate taxes are assessed only at the land value for the first 10 years of the abatement, and then it phases into a full assessment over the following 10 years, the last 10 years of the 20-year abatement.
Okay, with regard to future developments, where do you see any opportunities in Nassau County Or is it better to be hypothetically in Suffolk County because of the availability of land?
The answer is both. There are a ton of opportunities for redevelopment in Nassau County. Most of what we do in Nassau County is redevelopment of prior uses that have passed their time. And actually, it's kind of the same thing in Suffolk County. There's very little green land left. And so, even in the case of Yaphank Preserve, the 150 home condominium community we're building in the Boulevard, the AVR mixed use development, that had been a racetrack that had sat fallow for 30 years until Brookhaven and AVR got the approvals together and started building the Boulevard project. Long Island is a place that is way, way, way short on housing. So nothing's easy, but it's almost easier to make a project pencil. The hardest part is getting it approved.
What about financing of these projects?
We do it individually with each project. We have a bunch of relationships with some of the larger commercial and regional lenders, Wells Fargo and M&T, household names. Occasionally, we'll work with debt funds, and I would say it's financing in general. It's probably everyone's experience that it's gotten a little bit easier over the last few years than it was when rates first went up in at the end of 21 and into 22.
So I'd like to say I probably have the most prolific builder in Long Island here today. I'm very happy. I've seen your projects. They're magnificent. And I'd like to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Michael.